Coming to you live from the center of Hollywood, California. What were you thinking? With Aaron and Scott. Real talk behind closed doors. It's not just about stupidity, but everything else that comes with it. High octane, energy driven, in your face. Get ready. It's Aaron and Scott.
Well, we're back.
We are.
We weren't here last week because Aaron fell down the stairs.
I did. I fell down the stairs.
Is that camera right on me? All right, cool. I just because it's looking this way.
Now let me explain what happened.
Yeah,
so
you fell downstairs.
I fell down
with a box cutter in your hand.
With a box cutter in my hand.
It's like a scene from a
movie. I was trying to kill myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't do a very good job. Because I'm still here.
Your stunt man debut didn't go so well, did it?
Do you know those movies, right, where you see the person fall down the stairs?
Yeah.
That was me.
Only you didn't have an audience.
I didn't have an audience, no.
Or a little pillow at the bottom of the stairs to catch your fall.
I didn't.
That sucks.
I know. But I was hanging a ceiling fan, and I was standing on a stool for 45 minutes trying to,
at the top of your stairs?
No, downstairs.
Well, how'd you get upstairs to fall?
I was coming downstairs. I'm setting up before my fall.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so I'm downstairs.
What'd you have for lunch that day? Really build us up.
I had eggs and oatmeal. No, I was hanging the ceiling fan. I was on this ladder for 45 minutes doing it by myself. And I'll tell you, to hang a ceiling fan by yourself, that takes some skill.
Yeah.
I'm twisting wires and whatnot. But my legs just got wobbly after a while. So I went upstairs and I grabbed that box cutter knife because I was cutting up cardboard. Yeah. And walked down. My legs were still wobbly and went all the way down. Stabbed myself in my hand and.
Oh, Jesus.
But, I'm thinking for an early gift. I'm just going to throw some ideas out there for some, gifts that you can get for me for my birthday or Christmas. Life Alert would be good. Yeah.
Is that the one with the old lady named Julie?
Julie,
are you okay? Oh, I'm fine, but could you call my neighbor Gladys?
No, she says, I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's the other one. There's a new one now, though, with this old lady, and her name's Julie, and the Life Alert, the lady on the thing could say, hi, Julie, are you okay? Oh, I'm just fine, but could you call my neighbor Gladys? Surely. Poor Gladys. She's probably getting those calls every day.
So she's going to bring over a fresh cup of coffee and some cookies for you.
Yeah.
That'd be great, thanks. Yeah.
So I gotta tell you something. You know how we've covered the gardeners that they basically irritate everybody.
So this is a list, but this is your list of things that annoy you.
No.
But you know what? The blowers do annoy me as well.
Yeah. They create more messes than they do clean. They don't even clean a mess. They just move a mess to 50 other properties and cars, whatever. Okay, we've covered that. We've covered the bicyclists.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, what we didn't cover is I had a 14-year-old, I'm guessing, I didn't get out and cart him, but I'm guessing he was about 13 or 14 years old, in the lane at the light in front of me and several other cars at a busy intersection.
Right.
What would happen if he was in a car? He would have been pulled over.
Absolutely.
But how the fuck is it that it's acceptable that the 14-year-old is on his bicycle in heavy traffic?
There's no laws.
Anyway, we've covered that.
So what's the new one? Okay.
Well, wait, no, there's probably some more. There are some more, aren't they? There's some more.
Well, in GMO and foods, you're a big thing about,
Well, you know what else I'm getting a little tired of?
What?
People have to bring their dogs everywhere. Did you notice that? There are dogs everywhere. Now, I don't know if people get a special permission slip from the city when you have like your help dog or whatever. What do they call those?
Assistant.
Yeah, your assisted dog. Whatever. Yeah. What are they handing those things out like handicap placards for cars? Because everybody has a goddamn dog. They're dating.
Yeah.
And I was in a restaurant the other day. The dog was on the seat in the restaurant. The lady was sitting at the table. The dog was sitting on the seat, not on the floor next to her to get scraps,
right?
But on the seat next to her at the restaurant, looking at the table like, where's my menu?
Did the dog eat?
I didn't see that. That's a good question. I was leaving at that point.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
But the dog was sitting there. I'm sure he wasn't lapping out of a bowl. I wouldn't put it past him.
Now, I saw a lady come into the gym the other day with a poodle.
Yeah.
Sitting on her lap.
Yeah. Why do you need that?
Yeah.
Why do you need a fucking poodle on your
While you're
lap at the
working
gym?
out, she was doing the leg extension. You know, you're
Look,
sitting on a
here's
lap.
the first thing. If she's healthy enough to get her ass in the gym and do leg extensions,
Right.
she doesn't need a poodle with her. A poodle. And what's the poodle going to do?
Not only that was there a poodle, but there was a German Shepherd that came in one day. Huge freaking dog. You know, they're not
Same
small.
lady?
No, different lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you. I was
Yeah.
over at a computer store over in Burbank. Big sign on the front door, bigger than the no smoking sign's like this big.
Yeah.
No smoking, little cigarette line through it. The sign that said "No dogs allowed" looked like a billboard for a new movie, right? So I'm in there, I'm at the counter, and I'm talking to this guy. When some guy walks up next to me, he's on my right side, and then I feel this rope go from his side, the back of my knees, to this side, and then starts tugging.
Right.
I turn around, what the fuck is this? I'm trying to talk computer stuff, which is already mind-boggling. So I turn around, I look, he's holding a leash. I look, and over here is his dog. And his dog's trying to jump up on the counter and tugging his leash on the back of me. I look at him and I say, "Is that your dog?" He goes, "Yes." Like, Fluffy's allowed, right? So I said, "Could you get your dog out of my, my way,
Yeah.
whatever?" Really offended. So I said to the guy right in front of Bonehead with the dog, I said, "How is it that if I come in here smoking, everybody's going to go crazy with the little tiny sign out there that says no smoking?" But this guy brings his dog in,
Right.
and his dog's doing everything irritating everybody. And the sign is the size of a billboard, but nobody says anything to him.
But now at
So
the
get his fucking dog out of here.
at
And
the-
this guy's getting
Well,
really
you know
irritated.
What? At the Postal Service now, they now have a sign saying absolutely no dogs allowed. Apparently, they've been having problems with the dog shitting on the floor and peeing on the floor, and nobody cleans it up.
Jeez.
So the postal workers had to come out and keep cleaning it up because I was asking a lady. I said, "So tell me about this dog." She's like, "Oh, these dogs would come in and they would shit on the floor.
It's
and
these silly,
they would pee
stupid.
and the owner would sit and look at it
Yeah.
as if, yeah, all
That
right.
happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Clean it up."
Well, it's those annoying women I notice. They come in with their dog. They put them in the grocery
Yeah.
cart. They have them everywhere.
But is it just Hollywood? Because
I think
it's.
I can't speak for Nebraska.
Well, I can't speak. Well, I go to Seattle. I just don't see that in Seattle.
Do you see it, Jamal?
No.
Jamal's with us tonight.
I think it's.
Jamal is back with us. Jamal started off with me and
when we first
Aaron,
started the show.
right?
Yeah, Jamal.
Yep.
So
and
I'm
Jamal
back.
he's back for tonight. He
Yes.
happened to be in the studio, and we said, "Hey, come on over our way." Anyway, so I don't know. Jamal, do you see people with dogs in their laps at restaurants and all this shit? Everywhere they go, that dog has
Some
to be
people
there.
are just obsessed with their dog, so you do see it some places, but not as much as you see
I'm
it
just
in LA.
tired. I'm not obsessed with these people and their
I think it's a
fucking
Hollywood
dogs.
thing.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And by the way, how come not cats? How come everybody has to have a dog? Why not bring your cat?
I'm allergic to cats. Thank God that hasn't happened.
Well, I'm sure there's people out there allergic to dogs too,
Yeah.
and nobody likes a big load of shit in the floor at the post office.
No, they don't.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And you know how long those lines are, right? You're
Mhm.
standing in line smelling dog shit.
people
Hey.
just think. People just. I don't know. But if you mention it, like the guy at the computer store, he was really offended until I told
Of
him.
course.
I may have said something rude, like if your dog. I think I did tell him, if your
You
dog
probably
bugs
did.
me one more time, I'm going to kick your fucking dog.
That sounds like you.
Yeah. And then he squirreled him over, and I pulled him over.
Yeah.
You stay over here, Fluffy. You don't go near the me, man. Fucking dog. Anyway. I mean, I like dogs, but it's like, I just, I don't know.
Well,
Anyway.
it's always going to be that way.
Between blowers and GMOs and dogs and bicyclists, it's no wonder I even go out. Anyway, what's that? What else is going on?
So you heard the latest. So Donald Sterling, right? LA Clippers owner, made the whole racial comment about black people.
Yeah.
So now he's coming out and he's saying he's not racist.
Well, I've been saying it all along. I don't know why people think he's racist. Anybody who does what he did is fucking nuts first.
Okay,
He's just crazy.
It's his voice. Okay, well, obviously.
How racist can he be? Isn't his girlfriend half black, half Mexican?
I don't.
Well, she is.
I think
Isn't she?
he's a confused racist.
He's confused racist.
I think he just
But
said
now
what-
he's, it's so funny. You get caught, right, with your hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the response is it's horrific. It's horrible. And then you come back and, I didn't mean it.
It's really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, what he said was
I'm
really
not racist.
stupid.
And he's not. He doesn't want to sell the team. He wants to keep it.
That's why he's saying he's not racist, and he wants to take it all back. Of course, he's not an idiot. He needs his sponsors back on board. What would you do? I'd probably say, you know what? I was just drunk that day. I didn't mean it either. You know? Jesus Christ. But seriously, his girlfriend is
she's
half
a
Mexican,
yeah, she's a mix
and
of
she's
something.
half Bel.
I know.
And she's part alien. Have you seen what she looks like?
She's not all that pretty.
She's
Well, I
pretty
see that
scary
visor she
looking.
walks around with.
Yeah.
It does look a little
But-
alienish.
Cone heads.
In all
Yes.
fairness,
Cone heads.
he looks like he scored compared to what he looks
Oh.
like. But my point is I don't think he's that racist. I think he's just a stupid, fucked up guy.
Yeah.
And whatever. Anyway, seriously. But he shouldn't open his mouth. He did say some real shitty shit.
Oh, he did.
I
I
think
know.
that- and so, hold on. What is it? It's David Geffen, Oprah Winfrey, and Katzenberg. Somebody from the big Disney honcho.
Oh, that wants to
Buy it,
Yeah,
buy
they
the
want to
team.
team up. Yeah, and get it.
So, that should be interesting.
It'll be interesting what happens next. So Justin Bieber's back in the news now.
Wait a minute. Last you said he wasn't even allowed. They wouldn't let the plane land, right?
Correct. Well, he got detained at LAX. He was coming from Asia, right?
Yeah, they didn't want him
No,
coming.
they wanted him back. But
What'd they do with him? Where'd they send him?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't
Well,
know?
he lives in.
Is he in a plane just flying around the world right now? Nobody will let him land?
No, I think he has a house in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's
But
in.
Atlanta's our country. I thought he couldn't get into
know.
the country.
I don't. He was detained at LAX. I don't know the whole backstory. But this story here is so actor and comedian Seth Rogen has been on Bieber, just backlashing and basically calling him a piece of shit. And it's really what he's calling him, is a piece of shit because of everything he's doing, with his DUI, his speeding, throwing eggs at the neighbor's house, peeing in janitorial buckets, sexual harassment, on that
Sexual
stewardess.
harassment?
Well, when he was flying on his private plane,
How does a little 9-year-old sexually harass
he was
somebody?
probably trying to pinch her boobies of some sort, and his father that were making sexual harassments or towards the stewardess on his plane.
The two of them, the dad and
Yeah,
him?
his dad.
His dad sounds like a real jerk.
I know. Well, like father, like son, right?
He's trying to be his buddy.
And then, and then charges of alleged assault at a hockey game. So he's done. Yeah, I mean,
What do
if
you
you're
mean?
doing,
He attacked somebody at a hockey game?
well, there's a I guess he turned himself in on charges stemming from a December alleged assault at a hockey game in Canada. So Seth Rogen's calling him a piece of shit. Well, he's-
Canada? Wait, that's where he's from.
Yes.
Well, he's fucking up in his own bowl of soup,
Yes.
too.
Well, he doesn't matter where he's at.
Really?
He's gonna be who he is. But he's not a saint. So of
No,
course,
he's not a saint.
but he's upset that Seth is calling him a piece of shit.
You mean he came out publicly and
Well,
said,
yeah, he
what's
came
going
out
on?
and he just basically said, to Seth that he wasn't going to bow down to him. He said, "Sorry, I didn't bow down to you."
Sorry. you didn't
As
know
if
that.
everybody bows down to Seth Rogen.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so Justin Bieber did this full interview in the Hollywood Reporter, and he's holding to his own. He's saying, you know what? I don't apologize for anything that I've done. I'm gonna. He's manning up and just he's keeping who he is, and he's gonna keep being a piece of shit.
Well, good for him. The little asshole. You know what? Somebody's going to beat his ass.
Somebody will, right?
Somebody's going to beat his ass.
He doesn't care. He has $100 million.
Yeah, I know,
He's gonna be a piece of shit till.
Somebody's going to beat his ass. Anyway.
I thought that was great.
Oh, it's awesome. Bieber news. Bieber
Man.
alert. Bieber alert.
So I had to chuckle on this, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the news, and okay, so there's this news title that was titled, "I do cardio workouts, but I'm still fat. What's wrong?" Okay, that was the title of an article.
Wow.
I do cardio workouts, but I'm still fat.
Was there a picture?
Could you? I don't know. Maybe you're eating like a fat pig.
Well, they didn't say the rest. I do cardio workouts
This guy
and eat 14
people
pizzas a
people
day.
are
They left something out.
right. God, I'm working out, 7 days a week, and I'm doing cardio, and I'm still fat. What are you
Maybe
getting?
maybe they're 700 pounds
I'm
of
eating
fat.
McDonald's and Pizza Hut and all sorts of
Jeez.
shitty food, and I'm still fat. Which goes to show, you know what? You can work out as much as you want, but I tell you, if you're eating crappy food, you're still gonna be fat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people got to clean up the diet.
But no one wants to do it, right? It's the hardest thing.
I'm still on this fucking asshole
I was going to
diet.
ask you about that. So Scott's on a diet
Yeah,
now.
I saw a naturopath up in Northern
Now, did you break your
California.
diet? Because he's.
No, I didn't break my diet.
You're
What do
still
you think
on
I'm
it?
so fucking chipper for? I'm still on it. No gluten, no sugar, no dairy, no GMO. Only grass-fed, natural-fed, organic chickens. No beef, no red meat.
So basically, Jamal, he's not eating or
no
drinking
tomatoes, no potatoes, no strawberries.
Why no tomatoes?
Tomatoes and potatoes are nightshades. I don't know what that means, but the guy has a reason.
Think
Sounds dangerous.
Who put you on this crazy diet?
He's a doctor from Los Gatos, California. I don't want to say his name because,
It just sounds a little crazy to me.
Well, it probably is.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he supposedly comes, highly.
Now, let me ask you, you've been on this thing for what, 3 weeks now?
This is 3 weeks today.
Okay, and where are we at in 3 weeks? Because you're in a shitty mood.
I'm not really in a shitty mood. You remember how I was 2 weeks ago. I was
you were.
bad.
It's true. You were really bad.
I couldn't even.
Okay, so I want to know, what has happened in 3 weeks?
I've lost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff.
Well, that's because you stopped eating all that crappy food. Of course you're going to lose
I wasn't
weight.
eating a lot of shitty shit, though. But you know what? It's in everything.
Yeah.
You can't go and have spaghetti.
Do you feel better?
In some respects, I do.
Yeah.
I'm still on the detox pills, so it's like, that stuff.
I mean, do you have energy through the day? Are you able to get through your workouts?
Yeah. Remember I couldn't 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I remember
felt
that.
like I was going to pass out.
Right.
No, I'm good now.
Good.
Now I'm back to normal.
You just had to shock the body and kind of go through the...
shock it, killed it, and fucking threw it off a cliff, and an airplane hit
That's
it
great.
on the way
so
down.
you're numb and you have no feeling.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there you go. You and me. The stair-falling guy and happy diet boy. Anyway, so I'm hanging it out. I got another week, and then, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That's great. So you're going to like this one. Here's a new tip on lasting happy marriage. I got a kick out of this because they did a study. There was 220 couples that published by the University of Illinois that found that wives who want to divide household chores equally, right, with their husbands are very happy. And they're basically they're saying to sustain a long and happy marriage, husbands, you need to put out and help out with the
share the load.
Share the load with the house.
Now, is this with people who are both working? Is that it?
It didn't, I was reading the article and it didn't say that because I'm thinking the whole time the guy's working all day long. Well, what's the lady doing?
I mean,
but you know what? I mean, what
if they're both working, they both should be sharing.
I agree.
But if one of them, either the wife or the man, whoever's at home all day, should shut their mouth and clean the fucking house. Okay? If it's a guy, it's a guy. I'm not being sexist here, but if it's the girl,
he's
it's the
working
girl.
an 8-10-hour day. Comes home and the wife's like, honey, you need to now vacuum.
Yeah.
I know.
What did you do all day? I did the dusting and then I watched soaps. Because you do half and I
had to
do
go to the
half.
store, right? Buy food, groceries.
No, if they're both working,
Yeah.
then everybody. So hold on. So get back to the main thing. That's what they say is going to save the marriage. Just split the chores.
To sustain a happy marriage.
Wouldn't that be funny if they were in counseling and they said, "What's the problem? It's sex."
Well, now here's.
Well, you know what? You should vacuum more. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We have a hard time. I want to fuck all the time, and she doesn't want to have sex just vacuum. Vacuum. Wash the car. Give her a real orgasm.
So they're saying before you get married, go over the expectations of what the other person and their roles and their duties. When you get married, hey, honey, by the way, when we get married, I'm not going to be doing any cleaning. It's going to be you. I'm going to go and do the work. You're going to clean the house.
Right. Get it all
out of the way so that there's no, confusion.
Surprises.
No surprises. Yeah.
Okay. So
let's take a break.
I think.
And you know what? We have an amazing guest on tonight.
Yep. We're going to come back and we're going to introduce him. Very funny guy.
Yes.
Very, very funny guy.
Very funny.
What were you thinking with Aaron and Scott? The show that gets to the core of all the bull. Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
We here at the studio are really athletic guys, and as a result, we're always pulling this, overstretching that. You know how it goes. You get hurt from time to time, or you just sleep wrong and wake up with some sort of ache or pain. But no matter what the situation is, we choose who we consider to be one of the best chiropractors in L.A., Dr. Chet Millett. Headaches, backaches, neck aches. He's the guy we trust with our pain. Dr. Millett is located at Body Structure in Hollywood, California on Cole Street across from Gold's Gym. Seriously, we know this guy. He's got the experience and expertise, and he cares. That's Dr. Chet Millett. Give him a call at 323-469-8062 or look him up on the web at bodystructurela.com, or you can find him on Yelp. Dr. Chet Millett. He's the guy we trust with our pain.
From the darkness below, an intense and thrilling game by the creators of App Code Source, bringing the ultimate Gangnam game directly to your devices. Gangnam Speedrunner. Work it. Now available on your App Store. Get ready to run. This app is rated G for Gangnam. Visit GangnamSpeedrunner.com. Work it. It's Aaron and Scott. What were you thinking? Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. What if you heard something but did nothing? What if the music you loved was gone forever? Check this out. A truly intense and tightly wound app, optimized with stunning retina graphics and crystal clear electronic audio. DJ Dubstep Kit, built specifically for dubstep enthusiasts and DJs everywhere. 5 stars rave DJs around the world. Create your own dubstep music for commercial use today. Visit dubstepkit.com. Mansion Fitness, the only place where you need to train. We've selected only the best fitness trainers to ensure you reach your personal fitness goals quickly and safely. This is the real deal in personal training, not some random trainer giving you a haphazard workout on the fly. We feel strongly about what we do and we wouldn't put our brand on anything less. Visit us at mansionfitness.com and create a new you today. That's mansionfitness.com. No membership required. From the darkness below, an intense and thrilling game by the creators of App Code Source, bringing the ultimate Gangnam game directly to your devices. Gangnam Speedrunner. Work it. Now available on your App Store. Get ready to run. This app is rated G for Gangnam. Visit GangnamSpeedrunner.com. Work it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We are back.
we are back, and we've got some.
We have a guest.
We have a guest. Not only do we have a guest, but we have a very funny guest. Tom Cotter in the studio with us. Welcome, Tom.
How are you, Tom?
Welcome.
Beautiful.
Thank you. We have an audience here.
Yeah, they're all in the back room.
I like them. They're very good looking.
So, stand-up comedian, runner-up, but you know what? I'm going to say winner on Season 7 America's Got Talent, even though, you know what, you lost to a dog contest. It's okay. You didn't win the $1 million. But you know what? This is all I have to say. You will outlive those dogs.
That is true.
What did the dogs do?
They're called the Olate dogs, and they're actually a very good act. But the truth of the matter is that I did lose to non-humans. I lost to creatures that had no idea they were even in a competition beat me. I did draft Michael Vick to my fantasy team the next day, but that was coincidental, and I'm not bitter about it. Not only did they win the entire $1 million prize, but they can lick themselves. So they win on every level. And woe is me.
But what did they do? Did they do something
all
special?
kinds of backflips. They jump rope. They're really kind of they started in a circus. They were a circus act.
Yeah.
And that year a dog act won Britain's Got Talent too. So it was just the year of the dog, and I came out.
Well, I saw your
losing.
stuff, and you had me laughing. Seriously, there's only been a few that have made me laugh like that. You. Joan Rivers, the old Joan Rivers, back in the day, the Edgar days, when Edgar, her husband, was still alive. She, who else? Ellen. Ellen makes me laugh.
Ellen's funny.
Ellen makes me laugh.
Yes.
Now, were you laughing with me or at me?
I was laughing. No, I was laughing at you.
Okay. All right. That's okay.
No.
That's fine.
I was laughing with you, buddy. You fucking cracked me up.
Well, you're great taste.
Now, I'm a big fan of AGT, and America's Got Talent, and I saw you, and there was some amazing talent that was on that show. And for you to go, and I was thinking, it's got to be so tough as a stand-up comedian to be able to not only, you have a huge, how many people were in that audience?
3,000, wasn't it?
Yeah. When we did it, it was the Newark Performing Arts Center. So it was $3,000 to $5,000. And then last year, it was at Radio City Music Hall, which was $5,000 plus, I think.
But you've got, the pressure of that. Then you have America watching, and you've got to be sharp. You got to be on, with your material, and you've got to entertain so many people on so many different levels. Because some things, people don't find funny.
Yeah, you're performing to little kids because they're the ones who vote, really.
Yeah,
little kids all the way up to their great grandparents and everybody in between, which is a huge demographic. And so you have to kind of in 90 seconds you have to hit all of them. But in everybody else's defense, a singer has to do the same thing in 90 seconds. A juggler in 90 seconds. You only have 90 seconds.
And a dog.
So and a dog. And a dog. And apparently the dog did it better than the rest of us. But that's keep rubbing salt in that wound. That's great. My year, if you watch the show, I thought there was a guy who played Earth Harp, giant harp, strings stretched out over the entire theater. Everyone thought he was going to win.
Right.
Vegas money was on him, and if not him, there was a sand artist named Joe Castillo who
Yeah,
told story in
I
the
remember
sand,
that, yes.
which is why I showed up at the finals with wire cutters and a leaf blower. But what I should have had was poison puppy treats, because who knew that toilet drinkers would beat me? Yeah.
Howard Stern was very impressed with you.
Howard Stern, impeccable taste in comedy. I've always said that about him.
Yeah.
I mean, king of all media.
Yeah.
And I was actually on the Howard Stern show back in 1997. I was a DJ in Seattle at a radio station, and I got fired because I gave away $100 to some listener over the air. Program director didn't like it. I got fired. It went global, like national, and Howard got wind of the story. And Gary Delabonte called me up and said, "Hey, Howard's reading your story, wants to talk to you." And Howard is really cool. He's like, God, I've been fired so many times. He's like, but look where I'm at now. And but he was rooting for me. And this was back years ago. And yeah, that's what all these years later.
That's very cool. Back
Very
to you,
cool.
Tom.
Yes.
No.
Well, no.
I was going to say no. I'm saying in support
I'm
of
teasing.
Howard Stern, because
I
you have a lot
concur.
of you have a lot of
teasing,
respect.
Aaron.
No, I was reading about him,
So sensitive.
and he has a lot of respect for Howard Stern.
Well, the seasons before that, there were 6 seasons of America's Got Talent. Everyone told me I should go for it because my act is kind of rapid fire, ADD, kind of perfect for that format of 90 seconds. But I wouldn't do it because Pierce Morgan was in the judge's seat, and he hated American comics. So the first year he left and Howard came in, I said, all right, now if I'm going to go for it this year, to go for it. And thank God, because now you had Howie Mandel, Howard Stern, and Sharon Osbourne, the wife of the Prince of Darkness, and who else? Of course, they're in for a good time. So
they all loved you.
Started being a very comedy friendly, whereas before Pierce Morgan had his sense of humor surgically removed as a child
absolutely.
or something. He was a bitter guy, and so now that he's gone, and he has a stick surgically implanted in his rectum, I think. And now that he's gone, it's much more comedy friendly.
But Howie was, he was a big fan of yours.
Howie was great.
And he's, he comes from a history of stand-up as well, so he knows, he knows the game, and it's tough.
I think comics always had Howie in their corner up until, season 7, my year. But it was just trying to get the other 2 judges to go with it, because you need really all 3 judges to be in your corner to make it to the finals. And so I got lucky to come in the year of Howard Stern.
How was it on Jay Leno?
Jay was great. Jay was nice. I like Jay. Jay, he's a Boston guy. I started in Boston, and he couldn't have been nicer to me.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
That was you don't miss a beat. Do you get nervous? I always ask people this.
On America's Got Talent, there's 20 million people watching. So, and my dad is in the audience, and my wife and kids are in the audience, and that messes with your head a little bit.
Right.
But
That's what took it over the edge. It was the wife and the father,
Yeah. The other people, unfortunately, I hate to be mean, but they're faceless people. I have nothing invested in them. I have a very low give a crap factor about the people because,
Hey, you don't know them.
Yeah. No emotional investment. But when you have people in the crowd that you care about, then you definitely want to hit it out of the park, or you're going to look stupid.
Yeah. So you're from New York. You're married.
Originally from my mother's uterus, which is warm and moist. But I've been in New York for 20 years now. Yes.
Great. And married, and your wife is a stand-up as well.
Yes, she is.
And how does that play with your tactics and hers? And how do you guys mesh together?
I think we diffuse a lot of fights with sarcasm and humor, which other couples may not have those resources available to them.
Right.
So it's good. We've been together a long time. She dated a couple of comics before me, so her nickname was Comic Relief. So I wasn't her first, and I could say that because she lives in New York, and this is airing in the West Coast, I think. So that, and now we have 3 kids, and we're just doing the whole family thing.
That's
And
cool.
it works out pretty well. She's on the road sometimes, and I'm home, Mr. Mom, and now I'm on the road right now, and she's home. So it works
now, what
out.
did you do career-wise while you were trying to finesse in your stand-up comedy? What were you doing as a main job?
Because we all have day jobs.
Because
right?
we all have day jobs, right? Yes.
I was a cop for a little while, and then I was a private investigator for a little while. Nothing glorious.
Where were you a cop?
Nantucket, Massachusetts.
Wow.
The island off the coast of Massachusetts.
Very cool.
And then one of the guys I worked with there started his own PI firm on the mainland in Boston, and I went and worked for him. But it wasn't Magnum PI, no Ferrari, no hot chicks.
Right.
It was me in horrible neighborhoods seeing if someone was really injured from a car accident they were in. That's all I did, and I felt like a scumbag. I hated it, but it allowed me to pursue comedy at night. So it was a means to an end.
Do they have bicyclists who ride in the roads out there?
In Nantucket?
Yeah,
yes,
here?
Yes, they do.
They do, and they're allowed to.
Yeah.
They're illegal.
Nantucket, not a big crime mecca. A moped accident is a big day on Nantucket.
That'd be the breaking news story.
No, but I mean bicycles. People on bicycles riding in lanes with cars behind them.
Well, they're supposed to be on the bike path, and we would occasionally shoo them over to the bike path.
Oh,
They
no,
were-
no,
yeah.
not here.
No,
Not here.
no
They're
here.
just fully driving in the roads with people behind them.
I'm guessing you have a little bit of an issue with that.
I fucking hate it.
Okay, all right. Thank you
I've
for your
won-
honesty.
Just curious about that. Okay, so let's
Tell
move on.
Dr. Cotter all about it. Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah.
We used to, on Nantucket, I used to love watching people who hadn't been on a bicycle or a moped in 30 years trying to ride one down a cobblestone street because these chicks would just be, it was ridiculous. These really enormously fat people would just jiggle the whole way down. It was hysterical.
So since AGT, so what have you been doing now? You've been cruising around the U.S., right, hitting clubs,
Yeah.
cruise ships.
Yeah, it just, it makes your stock go up a little bit. It's unfair, really, because that show is on up against reruns.
Yeah.
So it's the ratings are through the roof. Plus, it was the first year's turn. And
True.
So, and plus, it was the year that the Summer Olympics were on NBC. So
Right.
they had all those eyeballs on the show too. So it was. I got very lucky. I stepped in leprechaun shit that year, and
Yeah.
so from that begets you become flavor of the month, and then you're doing. It's all C's. Corporates, colleges, cruise ships, casinos, comedy clubs. And corporates and colleges pay the best, deepest pockets, so that's what I'm doing now. It's what I did last night
Right.
in La Quinta.
So you cater. So when you're on cruise ships, obviously there's kids. So you're catering to kids, and then you cater to adults. Do you have a style of comedy? Because like some of my greats, and actually one of yours is like Richard Pryor.
Yeah, who are your favorites?
He couldn't do cruise ships.
No. Richard was really good. He had a lot of bathroom humor, in his comedy bits. How would you describe your comedy? I mean,
Mine's more of
Your
a
style.
style. It's kind of it was born in Boston. Boston, there was a lot of guys who did this kind of rapid fire misdirection. A lot of left turns, a lot of curveballs, things you don't see coming. That's
Right.
what we do. And so you cram 2 hours of material into an hour and just rapid fire. And it's born out of insecurity because you're afraid that there's going to be a lull. There are comics who take these long pregnant pauses during their acts, and I want to strangle them. I'm like,
I was reading
there's no laughs.
Right, as they take a
So-
sip of water, you got
Yeah.
that 2 seconds, 3 seconds of like dead air.
And I should be cool with that. I should be able to walk over and take a sip. But for me, I'm like, I don't hear anything. So, so it's just a rapid fire style.
Right.
I used to do cruise ships a lot before AGT, and that's little kids again, and they
Yeah.
want you Disney clean.
Of
I mean, they
course.
want you squeaky clean.
Yeah.
And I still have to do that. I just did a
You
Chick-fil-A.
can't say poop. You got to
corporate-
say duty, or something like that.
You can't say poop. Poop is all right.
Oh, poop is okay.
Yeah,
okay.
now poop's okay. May not have been before. Duty is certainly fine. But ass, a word that's in the Bible.
Right.
Not allowed to say it. You
Right.
know, they don't want you saying that. You certainly don't want to say any of the other horrible, the 7
Yes.
words that Carlin told us we couldn't say. You
Yes.
can't say
Right.
those. So, yeah, when you do those, you have to be really clean. And when you do a corporate gig, someone's always afraid of getting fired. So
Of
you got to be
course.
squeaky clean. And I
So
just
your
did, go
your
ahead.
5 favorites. I'm
My
curious.
5 favorite comics.
Yes. of
Alive
all
or,
time.
alive or dead.
Anything.
Well,
Anything.
Wow. So I can remain married. I will say my wife, number 1. And I will say
Does he know he's on camera?
Carlin. Oops. Okay. Oops. Carlin.
She's not watching.
Carlin is great. I grew up listening to Carlin. I would sneak his albums into my
Yes.
house and put a blanket over us like the Cone of Silence on Get Smart and listen to it
Yeah.
because it was just foul. And if my parents know, I was like, Pryor, who you already mentioned, those are the 2. That shows you my age.
Right.
That's a long time ago. Those are record albums. And then since then, I really liked Greg Giraldo, who's no longer with us. 2 of them are dead. John Panette, who just passed away, was one of my all-time favorites because
Yes.
he's a Boston guy.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy you may not have heard of named Don Gavin, who's kind of the author of that style I was talking about before, the rapid fire misdirection thing. And a lot of the guys out of Boston do that. Wendy Liebman, came out of Boston.
Right.
She's kind of that ilk. Brian Kiley of that ilk. He does it better than anybody, though, because he does it with a thick Boston accent and a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
But, those are the guys.
I got a funny thing. Do you remember years ago on Saturday Night Live, I believe, they had on a guy named Kevin Meaney.
Oh, I love Kevin Meaney.
I think they introduced him as the worst comic ever or something like that. I only
Not
saw,
true, by the way, but
I
all right.
only saw one thing about him. We're big pants people.
That's
Remember
it. Big pants people.
that? I laughed my fucking ass off.
Oh, yeah.
And then remember at the end, nobody was laughing. He goes, I don't need you or something. Remember he was singing, I don't care. I don't care.
I don't
I
care.
don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
That is not a bad Kevin Meaney.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because nobody was laughing.
Yeah.
And they were a little heckling going on.
No one dies more gracefully than Kevin Meaney. He
He
turns
was
it into
hysterical, wasn't he?
He'll
Yeah.
take himself out before anybody else
Do you
does.
know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
He's
Yes.
fucking hysterical. Jamal, do you know who
I
he
have no clue.
You got to Google him. He's
It's before
funny.
Jamal's time.
Yeah.
His big thing is, that's not right. His
Right.
mother would always
Right.
say, that's up there talking about your big pants. That's
Yeah.
not right. And he's just really funny.
Came
Recently,
down in tight pants,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah.
go back upstairs, mister. We're big pant people.
very funny dude.
The Nerf football, someone's going to put an eye out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. He's a funny dude. He's out of Terrytown, New York originally.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
Yeah, he's.
And I'm not speaking out of school now, recently out of the closet. And, whole new world opened up to him from that. And he's feels a lot better about himself now. And,
See,
and
I bet
yeah.
he cares. I bet he cares. It's all good now.
He does real well, though. He's on the road a lot. And
The guy was great.
Oh, he still is. Very
So-
funny.
And then, Johnny Carson's another great one too. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
you know,
Oh, Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny was
I met
unbelievable.
Johnny Carson once.
Did you really?
Yep, I
I'm
met him.
envious.
Met him at his beach house. It was in the 80s. I came down with a girlfriend of mine, and we hung out outside of his house because we found out where he lived. We knew when he had to go to the Tonight Show.
Nice.
Went across the street on PCH to a realtor place, got a pen because we had our 8x10s from Hollywood Boulevard. The garage door went up. We went right in and scared the shit out of him. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How'd you get in? I said, well, your door was open. He goes, oh, that's right. It was really fun. So we walk in. We said, we just want you to sign these. He goes, these are nice pictures. You remember how he talked?
Yeah.
These were nice pictures. He said, where'd you get these? I said, Hollywood Boulevard. So he signed mine. He signed Lisa's. Wow. And he's all of maybe 5'4".
Oh, yeah.
At
What's
the
up?
most. Little guy. He was driving a white convertible Corvette.
Corvette. Okay.
It was a Corvette, and he was off to the Tonight Show. What a legend.
How cool is that? And you stalked
Man,
him. You were
he
stalking.
stalked
You were literally.
We completely stalked him.
You were paparazzi before paparazzi.
Gave him
man.
a hug. He's like, his son was there. His son lived at the house with him. He was in the doorway. Hey, everything all right, Dad? He's like, oh, it's fine, son. It's fine. They're just a couple kids.
Carson
You're like,
we had to watch him all the time at our house, and that's what I grew up watching. And my grandmother was living with us at the time, and we
What's
said,
going on?
Can you take your cell phone off the table?
My-
Oh,
there
that's-
we go.
It's the cell phone.
Oh,
Cell
Sorry.
phone.
So my grandmother would stay up late and watch Johnny Carson. And
Right.
we one night we were at the dinner table and we said, Grandma, why do you stay up late and watch Johnny Carson? And she said, if I didn't stay up late to watch Johnny Carson, I'd have a lot more than 5 children, which meant that she had to wait for my grandfather to go to sleep or he would jump her bones, which is a horrible visual. But that was her birth control. She's this Catholic woman, and Johnny Carson saved her from being impregnated by my grandfather for many nights because she would wait until after the monologue and my grandfather would be snoozing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, true story.
Johnny Carson. Now, have you ever met Joan Rivers?
I have. I did on America's Got Talent. They didn't know what to do with me because comics generally
Right.
don't go far in the show. So I was the first comic to reach the finals, and usually they do a thing at the end called the duets, and it's always been a singer. So they have you pair up with someone you love, an idol, and you sing with them.
That's
Well,
right.
they didn't have anybody. They didn't know what to, so they decided that the comedian should roast the judges. So we roasted the judges, and I was supposed to do it with Lisa Lampanelli. And Lisa Lampanelli was locked and loaded, and I know Lisa for years, so we were all psyched to do it together. And then she had to back out at the last second, because an NBC executive was pissed off at her for something about The Apprentice. She did on The Apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
So like a white knight, Joan Rivers comes riding in on her steed and
Joan.
does it with me. And we roasted the judges together, and could not have been cooler. I mean, really,
She's pretty awesome.
Really cool. She kept saying to me, "This is about you. It's not about me. I'm not competing. You are." And her writers were like, "We're not going to do this joke because it's too close to one you're doing." And they just could not have been more accommodating and wonderful and great. And
Wow.
I think the world of her because of that.
Wow.
I loved her before that, but
Yeah.
I mean, her stock went up dramatically after that.
Yeah, she's
Amazing
in another one. I stalked her once too.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did.
Did you get into
We
her
did.
house as well?
You got to write a book.
No, we the same
stalk
girl,
celebrities.
same girlfriend of mine. We came down because remember back in the day you could see who was going to be on the Tonight Show in the week before on the
Yeah.
TV Guide. Well, we knew she was going to be covering for Johnny. We came down, we saw her, and then I got her out at the parking lot, and then we followed her to Chasen's. Remember Chasen's?
Yes.
I think it was Chasen's. Yeah, got pictures and autographs and everything. She was like awesome. Edgar was annoyed with me. He was, but she was cool. Hey,
Well, Edgar for his whole life probably had to deal with his wife being, in the limelight, and he's
Yeah.
in the background. So I imagine that would make him a little bitter over the years.
yeah.
Which is why he checked out early.
I tried to give him a kiss, but I was like, "Come on, Edgar, come on, come on." No.
So you're here in LA. So are you performing anywhere? Or are you?
Last night I was in La Quinta, which is out where the zip code is EIEIO. It's
Yes.
way out past Palm Springs. It's in the desert. I had no idea. I thought it was really close to LA. So I did that last night, and that was a corporate gig. And now I'm here, and I have I wanted to be with you guys, so that's why we're here. And then tomorrow morning I have a meeting for a potential situation at Fox, and which probably won't happen, but I gotta at least show up.
Yeah.
And then I get on a plane, and I don't want to brag, but I'm going to Green Bay, Wisconsin, to do another corporate for a window and door manufacturer because I'm living the dream. Everybody.
What's the corporate exactly? When you say doing the corporate,
like Microsoft, or
no, I understand, but you do your comedy routine.
Oh yeah,
for the corporate people.
Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes they have you do something stupid, like they call you the imposter, corporate imposter, and they introduce you at the end of this boring meeting as the new vice president from the Omaha office, and then you get up and you start, crapping verbally all over some of the higher execs, and then slowly it's revealed that you're.
do your research on obviously, and you make fun of the products or whatever the
and you make fun of people, and
and they're mortified, right? You see it in their
at
face.
first
like,
they're mortified.
God, what the fuck is this?
How did he know that about me? How did he know that I was in rehab? Yeah, all that stuff, and then you slowly reveal that you're the comic, and then you do the comic thing. And I only do that when they pay me more because I got to do research on the whole thing. But normally I just show up and do the dog and pony thing. I just get up.
Any
there and
any greatest lines that you have that you kind of have a shtick, that like comedians have like a one-liner, or they kind of sometimes repeat.
Give us an example, because I'm a little lost here too.
Well, no, like a one-line. I don't know, like that people remember you by. A trademark.
What was George Carlin's?
I don't know.
How about Joan Rivers? What was hers? Can we talk? Can we talk? There you go. I'm glad to help you out, Aaron. Anyway, put him off to the side.
Some of them,
it's you and me, Tom.
I don't have a hook. They call that a hook.
That's
I don't. I don't have one of those things. And those are the guys. They make bank because they have that put on a T-shirt, and after the show, they sell 50 T-shirts at $10 a piece.
I don't know. I mean, Can We Talk was Joan Rivers. Like Jackie Gleason for his show was one of these days, Alice. To the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon. I'm trying to think. Lucille
Carlos
Ball.
Mencia had one.
Yeah?
That or whatever he did. I hate Carlos Mencia, by the way.
I don't even know.
I hate that guy, but that's what his thing was.
Okay.
A lot of guys have the hook. I don't really have the hook. No.
Yeah.
It could be like do you do character voices at all?
Horribly, yeah.
Horribly.
Yeah, I'm not the impression guy. Right, okay. That's the extent of it.
Aaron really wanted to hear Bugs Bunny.
I really
I don't.
If you could just fucking try, Tom. He's going to cry if you don't.
I can do Marvin the Martian a little.
Okay.
My plutonium modulator. That's it. That's all I got.
That could be
I won't cry now.
your hook.
I don't really want a hook. I've been at this 25 years living without a hook. I don't.
We don't need that.
I
I'm not saying
understand why you
something
want
that's
one.
so predictable that people want to expect to hear something. So I don't know.
Yeah, there are guys. You're absolutely right. There are guys that have made a lot of money with a hook. That's the cover of their DVD. It's also there are guys. There's a guy I know who his thing was Men Are Sluts. That was his run through, his theme throughout his show.
Right.
And he would leave for a gig with a little overnight bag and then 2 big duffel bags. In the duffel bags, Men Are Sluts, hats, T-shirts, thongs, boxers, everything. And he would sell a fortune. He'd make a fortune selling these things. And that's God bless him.
Wow.
I'm not a merch guy.
How old are your kids?
The twins are 11 and the youngest is 6.
Wow. Boys, right?
All boys.
So what do they think of their parents being comics?
Until
be
America's
pretty
Got
damn
Talent,
exciting.
they didn't know what the hell we did. They thought we were rodeo clowns.
Right?
Stand-up comedy to them was an anomaly. But now they know what we do, and so they're going to be in therapy. It's just no way about it. Right?
Now they want to be comedians, and do they crack jokes with you guys? And then
they do. They're unbelievably disrespectful, and we don't spank our kids, but we give them a series of high fives on their buttocks, and that's the same thing, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let me ask you: have you ever done David Letterman?
No, but I did the warm-up for that show for 2 weeks.
What's the warm-up?
The warm-up is you warm up the audience. You get them going. You're a cheerleader, basically. You come out and you tell people put their coats under the seats, turn off their cell phones. And no standing O's, and don't act like no whoop, 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 none of that stuff. And then you tell a couple quick jokes, and then you introduce Letterman. He would come out every night on his mark. He'd come over with his back to the audience, and I'd hand him the microphone, and he would lip sync, "Thank you" to me. He'd go. That's the only words he said to me in 2 weeks of doing the warm-up. I was filling in for the warm-up guy. Never said a word to me other than that, and that was it. That was
Why
my
do you
own
suppose that is?
He was pissed off because the warm-up guy went up to the Montreal Comedy Festival and his thing is when we're in production, you're here. You know, I give you so much time off. Don't you dare leave when we're in production. And he was pissed off this guy. So I was this guy's hand-picked successor for the 2 weeks. So he hated me from before I opened my mouth.
He could have said other things other than thank you, which he
probably was saying something other, but I don't know. I know the you was there.
Your
I don't
lips
know
were
what the-
moving. I'm going to assume. I'm going to say, yeah, thank you. Okay.
Isn't it funny? His ego. He's like he was thanking me. He was saying "fuck you" each time. Wouldn't that
Now
be
that
funny?
you say that, he probably was.
It was a quick "fuck you." Fuck you.
He was, you know.
Oh my God, that's awful.
He's as opposed to Leno. Leno couldn't have been nicer to me. He was really nice, really supportive and everything. Letterman could not have been more of a dick to me. Really, he was just. And I hear that about. I hear like if you're in the band, you're not allowed to unplug your instruments until he's in the elevator.
What?
The producer's on the thing on her headset, and she says we're clear. Then the cameramen can cover the cameras with their little covers, and the band can unplug, and everybody because they don't know if they have to do a reshoot or whatever. Whereas Leno, everybody's casual. He's in his denim all day.
I think Johnny Carson was that way too. Easy
I think
going,
so.
right?
Much more, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if it's your name on the marquee, you can be as much of a dick as you want.
That's
I
true.
think so.
Do
I
you-
don't
did-
begrudge him that.
Did you like David Letterman prior to that experience?
Yeah, I did, and I still like.
I do.
Honestly, I enjoy watching the show more than
Yeah.
I enjoy watching the other shows.
I do.
I like his show. So
I do too.
I have no bitterness. It's his game. Plus,
Yeah.
he keeps that theater ridiculously cold, and that's his control thing. The Ed Sullivan Theater is it's a meat.
I like
locker.
that. Does he like bright lights or not?
I don't know about that.
Scott loves darkness.
I don't like bright
Yeah,
lights.
I
no.
know.
I'd make them turn these off. I feel like I'm tanning.
Really? Yeah.
What's that?
4 minutes left.
Oh, cool. So Letterman, tall guy?
Yeah, well, they're all tall to me. I make cookies in a hollow tree. I'm like, you just made fun of Carson.
Well,
He's got 2
I
inches
think I
on
read
me.
somewhere you were 5'8" on a good day. Was it
Not
5'8"?
not even 5'8" on a good. I'm 5'7" on a good day.
Oh,
That's what
5'7"
it says on my license. But if you were to measure me right now, you'd know that would be fraudulent. And that's why when I met, Howard Stern is a freak.
He's tall.
6'6" before the afro.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then I also did Kilborn. Remember Kilborn had a show?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ferguson. Well, before Ferguson, Kilborn had it. He played
Craig
college
Kilborn,
basketball.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played at Minnesota. Freakishly, and I come out to shake. He shakes my hand at the end of the set. It's the most humiliating piece of tape in my entire career.
You're like
'Cause
one
I'm
of the
that.
Munchkins on the Wizards of
Yeah.
Oz, you know? Yeah.
And and
Conan.
Ferguson's tall. Conan's tall. You're right. They're all tall.
Yeah.
Conan's what, 6?
Like 6'8"
No,
or
he's
something like
freakishly tall.
Yeah,
too.
he's freakish. Yeah.
I heard he was like 6'4" or something like that. I don't
Even
know.
Fallon. You don't think Fallon's that tall? He's significantly
too.
taller than me.
Yeah.
You know? He's about 6 feet. So
But David Letterman's he's taller guy too.
he's a
huh?
tall dude too. Yeah.
Nice.
Just to humiliate me. They all do this just to humiliate me.
Well, Jay's gone, and then Fallon. So what do you think of, Fallon now being on in replacement?
I didn't see that coming, but I also did not see Colbert. I thought
You-
Jon Stewart was the heir apparent.
Yeah.
Everyone, the whispers were Jon Stewart was going to take over for Letterman. Letterman hung it up, but apparently I was way off with that one too because they've already anointed Colbert.
Wow.
What's your take on that? What do you think, Colbert? And
I don't know how it's going to be. I only
Yeah.
know his show as a character.
Right.
But I think he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely going to be fine.
Yeah.
I
My
had doubts
feeling-
about Fallon, but he's proven me wrong. I
Yeah.
think he's pretty good.
My feeling is when David Letterman goes, that's going to be it for the old greats. You know what I mean? It's like there's a new breed coming in now.
Yeah.
They don't have that same. Johnny Carson, David Letterman had a certain way about them that nobody now.
well, so did
has.
Jay. I think they're very personable. Fallon's very entertaining. He does the skits, he does the bits. And I don't know. Jay. And Letterman.
I don't
and-
know.
If you think about it, Jay
Like
was
the
on
old
top
guys.
of his game, and they fired him twice. He was the leader in the ratings
Yeah.
both times that they fired him. This last time, in case in point.
I know.
But the reason was because they want the younger demographic and they want social media. And now he just wasn't good at tweeting and Facebooking and stuff like that. Whereas Fallon has an army of guys doing it for him. And so
It's
that's
like,
what they're
it would
getting.
be like if Carson was still,
Carson would give them the fucking finger.
he's like,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
how he
would
tweets.
Letterman.
yeah,
You're right.
Carson,
Like,
we
fuck
need you to
you.
go on to Twitter to
I'm
your
the biggest thing on fucking television. You can tweet and do those things that that little girls should be doing, tweeting.
Yeah.
I can't even say the word without feeling funny.
I know. I
Tweet.
don't. It's a necessary evil for what we do, but I don't. You know, I
Aaron
don't love
handles
it.
the tweets.
So you have
We have
Tom,
1 minute left. Tell us anything you want about what you're doing and where you're going.
well, you have your website, tomcotter.com, right?
Yes.
So everyone can find out where you're at and
Yep.
what you're doing. And
Where I'm touring and all that stuff. Coming up, I'm at Foxwoods Casino next week, and then it's a big gambling month for me. And then I'm at Harrah's at the end of the month, and before that, I'm at the Hard Rock Cafe in Fort Lauderdale, which is the Improv Comedy Club down there. So it's a lot of gambling establishments, which is not good for me to
great.
be in. No.
Did being on the America's Got Talent really help you out in this industry?
It absolutely did. It was, I hate
kind
to
of
throw the word
catapulted you out there.
blessing. Yeah, you become flavor of the month, really, is what
Yeah.
happens,
Great.
Again, it's up against reruns. There's nothing else going on. No other place for stand-up comics to show their stuff except late night where people are falling asleep and passing out. So it's better.
awesome. Well,
Very good.
Tom, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you guys
buddy.
for having me. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Really enjoyed it. Jamal, it was good to see you again, my friend.
Good
Yes.
to see you guys too.
Aaron, it's all right to see you too.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I love you too.